BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hey guys, Rob from Georgia here with you, aka VHS82 apostrophe. I am your regular Wednesday evening host here at BodyBags. It is week 526. It is almost the end of November. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy the day that is. Food, family, football, anything and everything you want to make out of it, right? Maybe even a horror film. Maybe a trip to the cinemas to see Eli Roth's Thanksgiving, which I did this past Friday night. It was a lot of fun. Views and thoughts, me, Glenn, I hope Will, Sam, tonight on our podcast, will be talking nothing but Thanksgiving. So be looking for that on Dark Discussions, as well as the one we just did, All Things Discussed or Related, whatever that was titled. Just a thing, right? So anyways, Manhunter. Michael Mann, 1986, the first of the Hannibal the Cannibal Lecter series. The only one that actually sets itself off in terms of the actors involved. Give you just if this is new to you or haven't seen it in a long time. FBI agent Will Graham, William Peterson, played by, who would go on, of course, CSI fame, right, has captured the diabolical Dr. Hannibal Lecter, played by Brian Cox, nearly losing more than just his mind in the process. But when Graham is called out of retirement to hunt the psychopath known as the Tooth Fairy, played by Tom Noonan, freaking awesome, dude. He must once again confront the horrors of Hannibal the Cannibal. If Will Graham enters the mind of a serial killer, can he ever come back? So Jack Crawford is at his wit's end on this Tooth Fairy killer. He goes after entire families and really leaves nothing behind in terms of anything to help track this guy down. So they go back to the one and only Will Graham, who, of course, last caught Hannibal the Cannibal. And it's so funny, the conversation piece between these two. I love it. I love it when Hannibal is, when Will Graham's like, well, you had, in terms of how he captured him, right? How he outsmarted him. I love it when Graham's like, well, you had disadvantages, and Hannibal's like, what disadvantages? He's like, well, you're insane. I mean, freaking awesome, man. The guy, Benjamin Hendrickson, who plays Dr. Chilton, is freaking awesome. And then Stephen Lang, man, a young Stephen Lang playing Freddie Lowndes. Of course, Brian Cox is Lecter again. Dennis Farina, Jack Crawford. Kim Griest is Molly Graham, of course, Will Graham's wife. Michael Mann, The Keep, Heat, he's 80 now, working on a follow-up to Heat. It's amazing. Miami Vice, of course. Again, 1986, and like I read off the back of the box, this is really a psychological journey for him. He can't idly sit there and allow another family to be butchered, and so we'll answer the call and go. It is an amazing film. It is a visual feast for the eyes, the lighting, just the backdrop of each and every single frame, the music. I could go on and on and on. This movie is just so much fun to look at. Reminds you of things like Tenebrae, Dario Argento's film. Bits of gialli, bits of Eurocrime, just a forensical feast. This might be the meatiest in terms of forensics of any of the films that will eventually sort of push that aside a little bit for more just the things that entertain us, Hannibal, the kills, and the relationship, of course, between him and Clarice. And but here in this movie actually really feels like a throwback to the 70s, forensically, and just Italian Eurocrime, that dip their toes in giallis, in terms of just the detective mysteries, right? And so it sort of has kind of an old school feel to it in terms of just how it approaches the story. It does not walk perfectly with the book. but it is the spirit of the book is more than alive and well in this movie, captured very well by Michael Mann. And again, just a visual, absolutely stunning movie to look at. And it just, yeah, it's, wow. So I picked this up recently, 15 and change. First time now I've got Hannibal on Blu-ray, Silence of the Lambs for the first time on Blue, but now I have Manhunter on Blue, but all because my tape snap. Can't remember the last time something like that happened. So this was what I was riding until I was forced to jump on this. But that was only 15 and change. And so for whatever reason you're lacking these movies on Blue and you really don't, let's just say you don't need the Criterion edition of Silence of the Lambs, which I hear is awesome. But this is something good enough to get you by, but it's on Blue and you get the trilogy as it should be. Manhunter, Silence, Hannibal. I don't think much about Red Dragon at all. I think the only reason they made Red Dragon is to have Anthony Hopkins in there, so they have their 3 films. It's just I just don't think much of that, but I do think in terms of substance, I do. Tom Noonan, man, as the Tooth Fairy is he is intimidating as all can get. Just amazing film. Amazing film. If it's been a while since you've seen it, highly recommend rechecking it out. Initially released by Anchor Bay on VHS. Of course, the studio released this MGM, right? A Dino De Laurentiis film. It probably would have been titled Red Dragon if it wasn't for another one of his films that had Dragon in the title not doing well at the box office, and he didn't want the same thing to happen to this one, so they just renamed it something other than what they named it Manhunter, right? But just amazing film to look at. Just once Graham gets back into the act of things, he'll visit Lecter. He'll start to get his mind going back again the way it needs to be, putting the pieces together, going into the houses of the leads and the other family, going into the houses and visualizing as Noonan's character would, Dollarhyde. Really an amazing, the Projection Booth did an incredible podcast. If you're into podcasts and just love listening, and if you've never listened to the Projection Booth, that is on Spotify. That is an amazing, really, really good podcast. Deep dive into it. Definitely check it out. In a bit of a different Dr. Chilton character in terms of what we get used to in Silence and Hannibal. Of course, Freddie Lounds, Stephen Lang just so much better than the guy who played him in Red Dragon. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. He was the antagonist in Mission Impossible 3. And a ton of other things, right? And Brian Cox is Lecter, man. I don't know, man. There's just so much to enjoy about this movie. It is a Michael Mann film, and it feels like a Michael Mann film, right? It is pretty good. So anyways, Hannibal Lecter, Hannibal the Cannibal, some Manhunters, some William Peterson pre-CSI. And if you get a chance, it's Thanksgiving week, right? Go see Thanksgiving by Eli Roth. It's rare that we get a film like this by someone like this for a holiday week like this, right? And I don't think the world of it, but the last Halloween trilogy maybe opened up new opportunities for slashers in general. So with the success of Thanksgiving, we'll see what else comes out of Pandora's box, as they say. As always, enjoy your Thanksgiving again. And in fact, I think my Bills are actually on TV here in Georgia. Who would have thought they'd be on TV? But at 4 o'clock, they're on TV. So as always, we end these things off with Go Bills.
This is not a dream. Not a dream.
We might be useful